Okay, this story is going to be called Chewing Tobacco. That's right. Some of y'all are going to call me nasty for this, but I live in the country and it's pretty normal to do this, all right? So, this is going to be 3 stories in one. All right? So, this is just going to be like a topic pretty much. Let me know if you like this style of video a little bit more. Just like multiple stories instead of just like one at a time. So, this is going to be 3 stories, like I said. 1, the first time I ever actually put chewing tobacco on my lip. The second one is going to be the first time that I ever did it knowingly and knowing what it was going to do. And the third time is going to be the first time I threw up off of it. Okay, let's get into the first story. So, I had another video, about a week back. I was talking about, sitting outside the bar when I was a little kid. And I said that I was a good kid. And I was a pretty good kid. I never did anything knowingly bad, But this one day, I was sitting outside the bar. It's a normal day. I was listening to the guitar in the background. I was just talking to all the grown-ups, being 7 years old, I'm all grown up, And then one of the adults whips out a can of Copenhagen, cracks open, takes a lip, and, it's pretty normal in small town, just people to do that, adults to do that. And he's like, do you want one of these? Because, I don't know if any of you guys know this, but in small towns, kids start chewing tobacco at 6, 7 years old, all right? So I'm 7 years old. He's like, do you want one of these? So I'm like, yeah, I'm all grown up. Just stick my fingers in there, take a pinch, not a huge pinch. I have little fingers, Stick it in my lip, and it's nasty at the time, but I'm grown up. I'm grown up. All right. All right. So little time goes past. They're like, you can spit it out. You can spit it out. It's you just spit it out. It was like they didn't know what they were getting into. So I keep doing it. I'm like, nope, I'm good. No, I'm good. Anyway, a couple minutes goes by. I start getting hot. I feel myself getting red. And I'm like, this is weird feeling. This is why all the adults do this, huh? And after that, 3, 4, 5 minutes go by, I'm like, okay, this is usually on the adult spitter, alright. So I take it, spit, and I'm like, oh. I get that, head feeling, that, head nicotine feeling, first time at age 7. I'm like, what is this? And I feel that, and I'm like, and I'm like that for maybe half an hour. I don't know. I'm teeny tiny, and I just took a chew for my first time. And so I go home later that day, and I tell my mom about it because I'm all grown up. I'm gonna tell my mom about this, and she was so pissed. She started telling me about how you can get cancer and all that from that, and I'm like, I'm never doing that again, right? No. Never doing that again. But, I did. It was, 5 years later. 5 years later, I was 12. Next time I did it. So, we're at homecoming game. Homecoming football game. I'm in 7th grade, so I'm not part of the homecoming game yet. So, we're, all hanging out watching it. I'm not in the stands. I'm up above the stands because the track stands are up here and the football field's down here. So I'm up at the track stands, and above the track stands there are more seats for people to watch track. There are these silver seats, and there are hills up it. And man, the shenanigans that went on at those stands. There are more stories coming up about some things that went down in those stands. But anyway, I had this friend, we'll call him John. So, I already know that John vapes. I already know... Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so I know John vapes, I know John chews, I know John drinks, right? So John's at this homecoming game and he always wears this big vest, you know? He hides all his shit in it, you know? All of his nicotine, you know? We're in 7th grade, we're 12 years old, you know, that's like a big deal to us, right? So we're sitting in the stands, unzips it, takes out his can and chew, cracks it open, you know? We're way out in the country, dude. This is some hillbilly stuff right here. So he's like, hey, anybody want one of these? And everybody else is 12 years old. No, we don't want any of that. That gives you cancer. I'm like, this piques my interest. This is like the first, like, I don't know, I had like done bad kid stuff up to this. Like I had gone ding dong ditching. Stories about that to come. In 6th grade, I like started getting detentions and stuff. I started like not being like a straight edge kid, right? So I'm in 7th grade now. Like a third of the way into 7th grade, I'm pondering this. I'm like, I'll take one. I've done it before once. So he's like, oh really? Here you go. So, because like I was pretty straight edge, you know. I had good grades and stuff. I got good grades all the way through school, but like take this pinch, itty bitty pinch, stick it in my lip, you know, like that. All right, like this. I start getting scared. Like my parents are gonna find out. They're gonna find out. Like it's gonna be on my breath. Like I'm 7th grade, 12 years old, like all paranoid. So a minute goes by, maybe not even. I just walk over to the edge like I'm freaked out. Take it, throw it out, spit, you know, the regular thing. I start feeling it. I'm like, I get a head rush, like getting all the blood to my brain, and I'm like, I think I sat down in the stands. And I'm like, and I kind of got like that same hot feeling, but not as hot, not like uncomfortable. I kind of liked it. I was like, oh, this is nice. And I barely had it in. I took the tiniest one, but you know, no tolerance. You're gonna feel that. And I'm like, Trade, John. I'm like, this is awesome, dude. And I'm just like that, and I'm like, oh. And after that, of course, I'm all freaked out, but I'm like, I want to do that again. So I did it a lot. Did it all through 7th grade. I did it parts of 8th, and you know, pretty much all through school. Just like not as much as probably 7th and 8th. Just like did it like a little bit, you know, here and there, like once a week or so. But like 7th and 8th grade, probably every day. So keep doing it, keep chewing, taking big old lips, you know, spitting. I'm probably grossing some of you guys out, but yeah, spitting, chewing, you know. I'm such a big kid, you know, chewing, you know. All that, and that like sparked my interest in some other things though. A gateway, if you will. maybe not in a bad way. I don't know, probably a bad way, but yeah, kind of a gateway. Piqued my interest into some other things. That's when I started hanging out with my friend John a lot. You know, started hanging out with John. You know, we would go do stuff like that. You know, we had this treehouse. We go hang out up in the treehouse. And like I said, more stories coming about things that happened in that treehouse. So I got stories coming about what happened in those stands above the track field. That's above the football field, the track stands. And those are some bangers. But there's some good times from up in that treehouse. You know, some real good times. But yeah. Sparked my curiosity for the first time. You know, that was the first time doing something that wasn't completely straight edge. You know, kind of felt good. Kind of felt like a rebel, you know. And that's pretty much it. I mean, kept doing it, you know, all through 7th grade. 7th grade a lot, part of 8th grade a lot, and then just like a little bit now and then from there. I don't know what else to say about it. Just like, that's what happened. I don't encourage it. It's probably not a good thing. You know, it can do bad things to your mouth. It can, if you don't gut your spit. If you do decide to chew, or if you already chew, you probably know this. But if you gut it, don't swallow your spit. Your spit, that's why people spit like that. Because if you swallow your spit, that nicotine and that other like tobacco stuff, it sits in your stomach, right? And it can give you like sores and like stuff in your stomach. It's not good. Not good at all. But yes, if you do it, make sure you spit. You know, don't get super nicotine sick. Don't take a fat shit your first time, or don't take like a bunch of rips off a vapor for the first time. Don't take a bunch of drags off a cigarette for the first time. Just like kind of ease into it, I guess. And I'm not encouraging it. I'm just saying if you do, that's what you should do, so you don't get nicotine sick or throw up. And oh, I forgot. I have one more story. This is going to be a long video, guys. We're already at 11 and a half minutes. Okay, one more story. One more. Told you I'd give you guys one more. Okay, this is how this went down. The first time I threw up. Now, I'm telling you all these things so you don't do what happened in this story. Okay? So, there's these things called Zyn pouches. They come in like a little plastic container. And they're like these little like tea bags. They're like little itty bitty tea bags like that. And they're full of this like white powder. No, it's not cocaine. It's little white powder, nicotine powder. It's nicotine powder. It's like a lot stronger than like regular chew. So they're only these little itty bitty packets, like way smaller than a normal chew. You can just stick it in your lip and you can't really see it. You know, it's better for like doing in public and whatever. Or some people use it to get off regular chew, even though it's probably not as bad for you. It probably doesn't mess up your mouth as much. But, you know, it's way more nicotine. You can get like way more addicted to nicotine off those things. There's so much more nicotine. Especially if you get like the 6 milligram or 8 milligram pouches of nicotine. There's so much nicotine in that, dude. That's way too much nicotine. But anyway, there's these Zyn pouches, and I decided to take one. I had taken them with my friends before and stuff, but this time I took one, and for some reason, I took it, and I'd gutted them before. I'd like swallowed the spit, and been fine, just gotten way more nicotine buzzed, you know? But I take this one, I'm swallowing the spit. I think this one's, what flavor was it? It was either peppermint or cinnamon flavored. No, it was peppermint flavored. It was a peppermint flavored Zyn pouch. Alright? You guys can like look it up if you want. Peppermint flavored Zyn pouch. Put it in. I'm not spitting. Just like, you know, swallowing my spit. Just, you know, it burns. It burns so bad. Once you get used to gutting your spit, I did it all the time, so it didn't burn that bad to me. But if you do it your first time, it'll. Oh, thinking of the feeling right now has me like, ugh. But yeah, if you gut it, you get that feeling. And anyway, I'm stacking wood. I'm stacking wood as I have this thing in. I'm stacking wood, right? And I get off the bed of the pickup because I'm like, oh, I'm so nick sick right now. And I go over to the side of the pickup, I take it out. I take a sip of my energy drink. I drink my whole energy drink. 3 times. I'm just sitting there, throwing up my entire breakfast, throwing up my entire energy drink. Feeling horrible, throwing up. Finally, like, regain my composure. Go back to stacking wood. And feeling horrible this whole time. No one saw me throw up. No one. stacking wood. And then, when I'm done with that, done stacking wood, go back off to the side, feeling horrible again. More thrown up. 30 minutes after I initially thrown up. Threw up so many times that day. Thrown up so much, dude. So much nicotine in those little pouches, dude. It hit me like a truck, man. And at the point that I took that, I wasn't like doing nicotine as much. So like I didn't have as much of a tolerance. I don't know, maybe if I had like more of a tolerance at that point, that wouldn't have happened to me. But ever since then, and I've thrown up off chewing tobacco since then. But man, both I've thrown up twice off chewing tobacco. Both times off Zyn pouches. Both fucking times, dude. Both times. I don't know. You can do them if you want, if you think you can handle them. But like, if you have super high nicotine tolerance from like vaping or smoking cigarettes all the time, I don't know, they might be for you, but for a regular person that's just starting, they're not for you. They will make you yak. I'm telling you, they're so strong. Dude. But yeah, and that's my chewing tobacco story. You know, some of you probably found it gross. Some of you probably found it relatable. I don't know. Some of you probably know a lot of people that do it. If you live in a small town, I don't know. A lot of you probably do it, and that's probably why you're watching this video. But yeah, there you guys go. Chewing tobacco. My stories. There will be some places that we revisit from this story in future videos. I think you guys will really like them, especially the ones about things that happened above the football field, above the track field. Maybe some of you guys have a spot like that at your school where shenanigans go down. But yeah, see you guys in the next video.